The Apple Watch Ultra is officially available starting today. So if you pre-ordered yours, back when the event happened, you should have gotten it today if you got it in a timely manner, or you could probably go and pick one up at the store depending on availability. But we got ours in-house along with one of the other bands. I believe it's the Ocean band. And so we're gonna unbox it. I have not seen one of these in person, so this is just gonna be natural first impressions. Maybe do a little bit of a size comparison, turn it on, see what it's like. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into these boxes. So the first thing that I've noticed is obviously the different size box. I'm used with Apple Watches, just with the Series 8 getting that long normal box that we used to get. This is a little bit more compact of a box, and I definitely like the footprint of this. I think it's a little bit easier to store if you're one of those people who keeps their boxes. This is 49 millimeters in length. It's the only size that you get with the Ultra. It's also worth noting that it is automatically going to come with GPS and cellular as that option. This watch does retail for $800. And so let's just go ahead and unbox it right now. So you got the little pull tabs and it unfolds like it traditionally does. But here's something new. You get this little booklet on top that's actually really cool looking. So I don't know if you can make that out, but they're, obviously this watch is for people who are doing extreme sports, hiking, swimming, diving, marathon runners, trail runners, definitely people not like me. But yeah, you get this cool little book, and inside of it is actually really nice. You have the design of each band. So here's the watch on top as well as this band. This is the Alpine Loop. Let's go ahead and take out the Apple Watch. Just get another pull tab here and one here. And so there we go. We have the Apple Watch Ultra sitting right on top. I like that there's some coordinates going on here with the little box for the charger. You do get a braided USB-C charging cable that comes with it, which is always nice. And that's really the only thing inside of the box besides the Ultra. And when you usually get an Apple Watch, it comes in that like little sleeve that's like felt kind of feeling. This just comes with paper that's surrounding it that you will unpeel. And right out of the bat, picking this thing up, I can feel the extra weight for sure. It's not as heavy as I thought it was going to be, but I could just feel this titanium material. It feels super nice. Definitely digging this design. Even the bottom with this kind of, what is this, ceramic here on the bottom? Yeah, this ceramic on the bottom, this look of everything, I really do like the color. I wasn't super excited about the color in person or when viewing it in the pictures, but in person, this is really nice. It would be nice to see if they can maybe anodize this in the future and somehow create a darker version, but obviously, I'm a huge orange fan, for obvious reasons. And so I'm loving the orange accents. Here's the action button. So that's a new button for the first time on Apple Watches where you can program it to do different functions. And we'll check that out here once we get it paired up. Different functions in limited apps and functionality right now. But that's something that you can do. Hopefully developers can take advantage of that in the future for other things. You do get the digital crown and the power button kind of protected in this little case here. Makes it a little bit harder for accidental touches on the digital crown. But I also love that orange accent. It just feels super durable and it looks really nice. So let's go ahead and get the band out. So here's the Alpine band that comes with it. Really nice looking, really bright and vibrant. Obviously, again, if you're not a fan of orange, this is going to be something you probably don't like. But what happens is you just kind of unhook it and you wrap it around and kind of hook it back to whatever. So we'll stick it on here and we'll take a look at it. Take off the Apple Watch Series 8. This was a good week that I've spent with you, but it's time for the Ultra. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like on my wrist for the first time. That is nice. Definitely digging it. I don't think this size is too big. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't. I mean, it's definitely, it raises off the wrist more. I don't think it's like bigger on my wrist feeling in terms of width. Height, it's just a lot fatter of a watch. But I don't think it's that big, in comparison to the 45 millimeter Series 8. I mean, when you look at it in person, it really is, but feeling on the wrist, for me personally, I don't think it's that much bigger, though, to where it's going to be, that big of an issue. But as you can see here, I've got both watches on. I don't mind it. I don't think it's that big. So the watch is all set up. The first thing I want to try out is the action button, because there are different mappings in various apps and functions. So let's go ahead and check those out. So earlier when I set it up, I chose the initial default action button program to be the stopwatch. So if I push that, it's gonna stop. It's gonna start the stopwatch. It's gonna tell you that if I hit the power button, I can stop it. Flashlight, let's see what happens there. Flashlight's on, it's gonna bring up the bright white screen. And if I wanna turn it off, I can hit the action button again. Something that might be useful, so as I was saying earlier with the action button, it's kind of limited, but you can program it to be a Siri shortcut. So if there is a Siri shortcut that you use quite a bit, that actually could be super useful. I can hit it. This one's opening up the Redditor shortcut, and so now I can open up Reddit. I didn't set that, it's just by default that way right now, but I can go ahead and mess with that, and that will be a kind of a cool feature to have. So that's good to know. Also, let's quickly go over some specs of the Apple Watch Ultra. So the Ultra is actually EN13319 certified, which means it's a now certified diving accessory, and you can have this thing submerged in water up to 40 meters. It also has better GPS built in, which can use advanced signal processing to help navigate issues like a bunch of trees outside, or if you're running a marathon in Chicago, like Apple used for this example, there are so many tall buildings, which makes, GPS signals harder to pick up. And so the better GPS should actually help you out for those of you who have those issues. There's also a new Wayfinder watch face and a reimagined compass app. Now, the Wayfinder watch face is actually really cool because it can feature up to like 8 complications at once, thanks to just being a bigger watch all in general here. And also, if you turn the digital crown, it'll go into this deep red low power mode. The Ultra does have all of the same features that the Series 8 has, so you still get crash detection, emergency SOS, temperature sensor, ECG, blood oxygen, etc., etc. You still get all of those things on top of the specific Ultra features. One thing that also will help you is if you get lost, you can actually hold the action button, and there's a siren that can apparently be heard up to 600 feet away, and it comes in at 86 decibels. So let's go ahead and test that out right now and make my neighbors really mad. So I'm gonna hold it, I'm gonna do the siren. So that wasn't as loud as I thought it was going to be, but it's still nice to have if maybe you're lost in the woods, but others are around you and you need to be found. You can go ahead and do that siren. Now, speaking of speakers, let's do a quick test between the Series 8 and the Ultra, because the Ultra is supposed to have better audio. And so we'll do a test with Siri and see exactly which one might be louder and sound better. And then you can let me know down in those comments. Tell me a joke.
Why do pirates take so long to learn the alphabet? Because they spend years at sea.
So now I have the Series 8. We'll test out the sound quality here. I'll try to get it up to the mic a little bit. Tell me a joke.
I cleaned out the attic with my friend yesterday. Now I can't get the cobwebs out of his hair.
Okay, I don't notice in first impressions a super loud difference there, but I'll take Apple's word for it. And lastly, the Ultra Watch has monster battery life compared to the other Apple Watches that are available. So you can get 36 hours on a single charge and up to 60 hours with low power mode turned on. Now, overall, my first impression so far, it's big, but I don't think it's big as I thought it was going to be. I really do think that it's not that ridiculous on your wrist, at least for someone like me. I was using the 45mm before. That was a good size as well, but I think this is honestly a little bit bigger, but it's not that big of a deal. It is chunkier, so it does sit up higher on your wrists. That doesn't bother me, but it might bother you. I do think you can dress this up to look nicer than people think it is. It is a rugged watch. It is meant for those extreme conditions and people who use these, who go diving and trail running, all of that. But I think if you got like a stainless steel, link bracelet band or whatever the one that is, or the Milanese loop, I think you can make it look kind of nice. So I wouldn't rule this out as someone who just wants to get a nicer, tougher version. Again, it's made of titanium, so it's going to be really durable. And if you just want it to be, your everyday watch, over the stainless steel, which by the way is the same price, and you're getting all of the same features and then more features with the Ultra, you know, that you can maybe use in the future. And so I might recommend this to kind of anyone who's looking in that Apple Watch price range of around $800. This is something to consider, especially if you do like the design, because that's going to be something that people don't necessarily all like, and if you don't mind the size. Of course, the next video we're going to do with the watch is kind of give you some longer term impressions. I'll try my best to test out some of those other features, but it's going to be mostly guy who does normal activities and has an Apple Watch and for some reason bought the Apple Watch Ultra. So maybe if you're a regular person out there who is just looking at wearing it like a normal Apple Watch, I can give you some more in-depth thoughts on that in the next few days. But be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. And of course, let me know in the comments down below what you want to see. This has been Dan with Mac Rumors. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you around in the next video.